Hey guys, so in my last video I shared with you tips for making New Year's resolutions, and today I wanted to share with you my own personal resolutions for 2014. So my first resolution is a financial one, and it is to stick to my grocery budget. Now, I don't know how it is in other countries, but I predominantly shop at Aldi, and Aldi has a great way of having all these weird and wonderful specials every week at their store, and they're so fantastic at picking just the right type of product at the right time, so that you can always justify buying the products that are out there. So in springtime they'll have a wonderful array of pots and plants, for example, and I don't know about you, but at that time of the year I see a pretty plant and I want to buy a pretty plant. So my absolute resolution is to stick to my grocery budget. Now, how I'm going to do that is that I will be sticking to my shopping list and not veering away from it. And the other thing that I plan to do is to regularly look at the items that are in my freezer and in my pantry and just maximize the number of meals that I'm getting out of things that I already have. So I do that already, but I'd like to just make sure I'm doing that to my full potential. My other resolutions are in the area of health and fitness. So what I really want to be doing this year is to be really consistent with my workouts. Now, I already work out, but sometimes it's more and other times it's less. So I'm really aiming at that consistency. And for me, consistency is working out a minimum of 3 times a week. And if I do more, and sometimes I do, great, but I don't want to be doing less than 3 times a week. The other area within health and fitness that I will be focusing on is really further cutting down on the amount of processed foods that I consume. I'm pretty religious about trying not to consume processed foods, but I think I still do fall into some regular traps, that people fall into. So how I'm going to cut down on processed foods is that I will be removing the sugar that I have in my coffee. Now, I've been gradually reducing the sugar that I have in my coffee. I used to have 2 teaspoons of sugar in every coffee, and I'm actually down to 1/4 teaspoon. So I just need to remove that last 1/4 teaspoon and I'm there. Other things that I want to do are just to stick to 1 small treat per day, as opposed to, sometimes you finish your lunch and you want to grab for a small little chocolate or a biscuit or something like that. So I really want to keep to my 1 treat per day, and it's usually after dinner for me when I appreciate a little treat the most. The other thing that I'd like to do is just to stop eating any processed muesli bars. Now, these are things that we tend to have in the house just because husband likes a muesli bar with his lunch. But personally, I would prefer to avoid eating them. So I will be trying to make my own muesli bars and see how that goes. The other thing that I'd like to do is just to more consistently remember to bring a snack with me when I go out. So there have been many times when I head out for the day and I'm so busy getting ready, and I don't think about getting hungry or what I'll be picking up, and they're really the times when you get so hungry that you'll really reach for anything, and quite often it's not the best choice for you. So what I will be doing are just preparing some in a little snack size Ziploc bag. I'll just be preparing a bit of a trail mix that I'll just have ready in the pantry, and I can just grab one of those, pop them in my handbag and just be out the door. So that's another thing I'd like to do. My last resolution is in the area of personal development. Now, for the longest time that I can remember, I remember being jealous of people who could sew, and I don't know why, I don't know where it's come from, but sewing is just one of those skills that I have for a long time thought were just beyond me. And so I finally bitten the bullet and bought myself a sewing machine. So I'm very happy to have it, but now that I have it, I realise that, now's the time that I really need to start learning how to use it. So my objective for this year is just to learn some very basic sewing skills, and to do that I've been researching some really simple beginner style sewing projects, and there are heaps online if you're looking, by the way, but anything from a basic cushion cover to pencil cases, little makeup bags, things like that. And so I'm pretty excited to have a go at doing that. So I hope you enjoyed hearing about my resolutions, and I would be really excited to hear about your resolutions. So if you're happy to share them, feel free to pop them down in the comments. I would love to read them. And just finally, I wish you all the best for all your resolutions and goals in 2014.